You know, you'd think I'd be getting better at difficult games. I very recently just started playing a bit of Project Zomboid with my partner and my older brother. Very fun game. Definitely up our alley for games we like to play together. Any kind of survival situation, especially one that has a lot of panic-inducing moments, is a lot of fun as a group. But boy, do you die a lot in that game. So, hey, at least I've practiced. Actually, maybe that's a more accurate framing for it. Rather than that game making me better at not dying horribly in every game I play, instead just teaches me to love the pain. So let's go for this again. Of course, we kick our little card in. Wait, did we get a kill this time? I think we did. Definitely have to pick up the accidental kill gold there, get a little bit of an extra bang for our buck. Oh, and we finally get a wand with the all-seeing eye on it. So, how does this work? Oh, interesting. Huh. Wait, how long does this last? It's not even just that area. It looks like it's persistent. Oh, that's pretty sweet. That seems swell. Well, let's take that into the future here. Oh, maybe just had a bigger radius actually, because now we're seeing that we're getting slightly back into the fog of war that we know and love. Maybe a bit more of column A than column B there, but regardless, very interesting. As much as I trash talk spitter bolts, they of course do have a decent damage advantage over the kind of standard magic bolts that we're often stuck with at this level. And boy, do they fire fast. I kind of forgot about that. Short range, sure, but oh boy, do they pack a punch, at least for the early days such as these. Fantastic stuff. So let's see what you do, friend. No shuffle, relatively low max mana. But I mean, I'll definitely take it for now. Not exactly in a position to look a gift horse in a mouth at the moment. Oh boy. One of you flamey boys, hey? Flaming friends, if we want to keep up the general trend of alliteration. Which, I mean, you know I do. Oh gosh, let's get away from the coal pile as everything lights up around us. That seems like a half-decent idea. And I want this treasure. I only have 3 bombs to get it. Oh geez. Oh my gosh. I think the spitter shot our bomb there. A little bit of a premature explosion. Not ideal. So if I open this, I think I get items. If I shoot it, I get gold. Let's test this out. Do I have to blow it up? Maybe I have to blow it up. Oh, do you know what? Let's just open it, shall we? Nice amount of cash there. Let me quickly douse myself in blood to try and get that raging fire under control. Guess I also could have sprayed myself with polymorphine if I was feeling a bit wild. Please, sir. Don't you dare point that shotgun at me. Oh, me oh my. Taking a lot of damage. I do not like... Nope. That's not quite gonna do it. Do I have anything that can kill you from here? No, and... Oh gosh, more people. More friends are not what you want to see. There we go. You activated my trap card. Perfect. Alright, before you start dropping Noita knowledge, what's wrong backseating, one vice explanation? Go absolutely nuts. This isn't a game I think that suffers too much from spoilers. So I'm happy with that. In terms of backseating, well, somebody's got to help me out and keep me entertained while I'm doing the driving here, right? I don't mind whatsoever. Thank you for asking, though. It's very thoughtful of you, Angreth. I appreciate it. Yeah, maybe if you know something that is potentially a fun, like, surprise to run into in the future, you can, use your own judgment whether you think that may or may not be the case, but in general, I have no problem whatsoever with getting a little help from my friends. Could all use a little bit of a hand sometimes, right? So let's check these out. I do love the chain bolt. This we know to be true. No, well, there's some spoilers. Noita is not a very story-heavy game, and Laura's not really game-affecting in terms of gameplay. Exactly, yeah. So I didn't think that it would be the case that it would be a potential issue. Definitely in terms of, yeah, just backsay in general, no problems whatsoever. I appreciate the help. So, if we take a look at these two, because I'm probably debating between buying them. I mean, I could just go with the more expensive one. And in fact, actually, recharge time is a heck of a lot better. Max mana is better. Capacity, better. I check perks before picking a wand. Ooh, especially, yeah, with like one-offs and stuff. That seems like a good idea. Eat your vegetables. You inflict more damage the more satiated you are, but you start losing health if your stomach is empty. Well, I didn't even know you could eat until like my 5th run into the game, so... I'm definitely not great at remembering to do that. Faster wands is pretty wild. And freeze field, we've seen this before. It seems like it would be very useful situationally, but so far, I just like to lie to myself and say that I'll avoid that poison pool, so why is it even a problem? And I think I will buy one of these, and potentially I'll just be taking faster recharge. I could try eat your veggies and just attempt to remember to fill my stomach here. But if I'm taking this one, then I will probably replace one of these. I guess this is slowly but surely losing its edge, right? I do generally like to get rid of the starter wand, so I'm going to steal the spell effects from that. And let's try it out. It's expensive, so it's gotta be good, right? Game wouldn't lie to us like that. So let's see, yeah, just the cast delay and the recharge time are worse than the standard, but that works for me, that's fine. Honestly, you'd leave the perks and try to come back later. Faster recharge is really only good if you've already got a very good wand. Come back later. That's a thing? That's an option? How about that? Okay, so this is what's giving the aim thing. I think I will get rid of that for now, seeing as how I would like to just have the double chain bolt. Yeah, you can return to the Holy Mountain. Because is it the same Holy Mountain every time? I thought it collapsed behind us when we left, but is that only if I take these? I, like, steal the power from the place or something? Huh. Well, let's give it a shot, shall we? Can learn something new. You collapse. This we know to be true. I guess I can just sort my way through the rubble. That's something I've never taken into account before. Oh, geez. Sorry, let's not crush ourselves. That's silly. You do have to clear out the rubble, but you can come back to reroll later. Oh, that's very cool. Thank you. That's a sneaky little piece of tech that I probably would not have stumbled upon on my own. What can I say? You put me on railroads, I'll follow that railroad until its termination. But fantastic. Let's try and collect some money. We can go for rerolls and hopefully get something truly incredible as we've seen before. Oops. Definitely put myself out. I almost want to, oops. It's bad when you don't remember that you have a bifurcated shot. I want that money. Let's try and sneak in real quick. And once again, classic example of me not remembering how to aim my fancy new gun. Dart wand, of course. Absolutely wonderful. The only tricky part is learning how to use your levitation just right in order to be able to make it back up. Perfect. Well, it's another good lesson to learn at the very least, seeing as how I've been fairly straightforward in my levitating prowess so far. But I would enjoy the idea of a bit of a platforming challenge. That seems fun. Oh, geez. Let's just brush through the poison real quick. At least there's a lot more water diluting that nastiness. Let's see what else we can get here. That looks like a bit of a tough squeeze. Excuse me, friends. Aiming is overrated. Exactly. Why not just chain bolt? Okay, so we got the crazy money infusion off that chest, which potentially deconfirms, refutes the suspicions that I was starting to build about the difference between opening a chest and breaking it. Might have just been happenstance through all those first few. Oh, excuse me, new friend. I should go get your gold, but we did just climb up all that way. So let's just make our way up, shall we? The nice thing here is that we could always use our all-seeing eye to try and have a slightly more clear path back home. Don't have the greatest memory of where we come from, where we go. Where did we come from? Cotton Eye Joe. But let us try and remember, parse our way through the dungeon. Okay, this was nice and early on. In fact, wait, right? Let the jetpack recharge. That's always important. Ooh, there's another treasure chest there that I missed as well. At the risk of forgetting that, let us put a bomb here. Oh, that's not a good bomb. Yep. Hills, they'll get you. They'll always get you. I don't think we could blast our way through the top here. We'd use both of our bombs, even if we could, so that's a bit rough. And let me know a little something from the perspective of a player with over 1.4 thousand hours in Noita. It's not about learning one big trick, being the most skilled gamer. It's knowing thousands of little tips and tricks, and then being able to apply them well to your advantage. Definitely seems to fit my basic impression of the game, because a large part of it has been experience playing a huge role. Like, the first time I run into monsters, they generally kill me. Let's see. Can't just blast straight up. That makes sense. So, let's test out a couple of different things here. If we struggle with this for too long, you can spoil us, but okay, it looks like using just little spurts is more efficient overall for our fuel source. Excuse me, sir, it's not a jetpack, it's magic. Of course, my bad, my bad. Let's blow some rubble. Good thing we didn't use those bombs earlier. And you know what? We don't even necessarily have to blow more. Let's try a reroll and see if we don't get the best perk right here. How could we not? Oh, and it doubles in price. Good to know. So this is new. Let's actually take a look. This is the concentrated spells. So this is more damage and tighter, like, range. Tighter degree range. Something like that. I forget what the downside is. More projectile damage, I believe. It's something like that. Gold Forever is okay. Right, I'm not a huge fan. I guess the one thing that I didn't account for when we first came across it is that that would also include when enemies kill each other, right? So when there's like a civil war going on in an area, they would just litter that gold everywhere. And in the past, it's, you know, usually just gone by the time we get there, so we just see corpses. But we also have never seen this one before. Mournful Spirit. Dying creatures leave behind a spirit that deals damage in a small area. Well, in my limited experience... Oh, nice, I can get concentrated spells. But anything like this, if it doesn't explicitly say that it's damage to enemies, I always worry that it is going to be a little bit dangerous, shall we say. So we could get this even just to try out a new thing, but concentrated spells seems nice. Let's see what I got wrong here. It's not increased projectile damage, it's increased cast delay. So a bit rough on our chain bolts, seeing as how they already have quite the substantial cast delay, but extra damage, lower spread. I'm curious how that works with bifurcated strike. Probably doesn't reduce that spread too much, right? Concentrated spells is very good though. Mournful Spirit is okay, but concentrated spells is your play. I could get behind that. Mournful Spirit is just kind of fun because it's new and I've never seen it before, but again, I feel like that damage in a small area is going to be rough. And ideally, I can just kill things one at a time as they approach us. That would be lovely. So I am happy to agree with you there. And let's try out concentrated spells. I mean, doesn't matter what your cast delay is. If you can just murder everything in one go. Whoops. Oh my gosh. That was meant to be a test of this shot. Well, there goes my last bomb. Let's keep moving here, shall we? The damage modifier is well worth the cast delay one because there are ways around the cast delay modifier in the future. That makes sense. And yeah, with the double chain bolt, I feel like we do pretty much murder everything we come across. So a little bit less relevant to be able to cast again soon. Though I know I'll be made to regret those words in the future when we're absolutely bombarded on all sides by foes. But not too bad so far. Okay. I definitely need to, I feel like, well, being able to, you know, become a god gamer might not be the be-all end-all solution for this game. I think I still have quite a ways to go in terms of just dodging shots in the first place. But I'm going to run a slight risk here and keep exploring just a wee bit. I want to regain some a nice cash influx here if possible. Oh, geez. Okay, gunpowder does not ignite when shot by a shotgun. Well, good to know that, game. I'll take that lesson into account the next time I come across a giant pile of gunpowder. I don't see how that could possibly backfire in my face. Just don't miss forehead, and just don't get hit forehead is the other important, crucial aspect of that, for sure. It's that easy, folks. Takes an average of 200 to 400 deaths in Noita before you get your first win. That works for me. That's at least a category I have good experience in. Having played a lot of old school dungeon crawlers and DCSS, I mean, I wish that I had a count, a run number for how many runs I played before getting my first win in that game. And that's even one that's a bit more mechanically focused and just about learning a safe strategy forward rather than the aforementioned list of tips and tricks and little advantages that you can kind of leverage to your own success. Can I get here? I can. Now there's a wand that I can see. So let's take a peek here, shall we? Good max mana, at least relative to what we currently have available. Decent cast delay and recharge time from my experience. Well, I do want this. Probably can just get rid of wand number 4 here. I like having my bombs, even though eventually this will hopefully be changed out. Ideally for something that we can have like 3 bomb spells on and actually have the consumable firepower to make it through. But trust me, Noita can become very mechanically involved, especially when it comes to wand crafting. Well, and that's something that I've been excited for, learning some of the synergies. Because even though there might not be that one-shot ticket to success, finding that beautiful synergy where everything just clicks into place feels so good in games like this. Or at least that was my impressions from it. Definitely correct me if I'm wrong, seeing as how I am, by and large, not the expert in these matters. But I haven't seen this spell before. A projectile flies in a spiraling pattern and casts 5 spells in a pentagonal pattern. And what is this homebrewed ridiculous setup? I'd like to try this once before getting rid of it, but let's find a good spot to do so. I mean, I have decent health, so I shouldn't die. Oh wait, this is the one that pulls enemies closer to me. Oh, for a moment I thought this was the one that teleported me to the projectile location. I thought it was just gonna be pure chaos. Absolute madness. But I do like this wand's stats, so we will take it into the next section. I feel like I should explore a little bit further in before I die in a horrible, embarrassing death, but we're still at half. We have really strong wands, and we know that Ice Caves is just going to get worse. Oh my gosh. I want this. Dang you. So I guess what I could do is hope for a chest in a bit more of an accessible position that has a wand recharge crystal in it, for lack of a better word. I don't know what the proper nomenclature is. But, okay, yeah, no, we've already been that way. Not a lot there. So let's oh, geez. Oh, I thought that was all gonna light up for sure. That's fine. You can go hundreds of hours before understanding wand crafting, because I understand why the wand is working that way is usually far more important aspect, rather than simply knowing common spell combos. That makes sense, yeah. So far, there have been a decent number of effects that I very much do not have that level of understanding with. So, I could definitely see it. Oh, let's not drown to death while trying to just cram my way through a tiny opening. I mean, I'm kind of curious. This is not a chaotic polymorphine potion. This is probably not going to pan out or go anywhere, but I'm going to try out something a little bit silly here. I want to spray myself, hopefully turn into something small enough to fit through this crevice. Is that a thing? Hey, would you look at that? Don't know if it's worth it at all. Might just be stuck here. Anywho. Oops. Let's also switch back to our real gun, shall we? Oops. A little bit of a premature shot there. Ouch. Ouch. Excuse me, friend. I would like to dodge your shots. Well, that flammable blood always gets me. And now, we're at a bit more of a reasonable spot to just bail. 33 health can definitely be obliterated in an instant. I would like to get more money before doing so, but... okay, you were summons. I was wondering why they weren't dropping gold, and that makes sense. Usually, in most games, you have some kind of effect to stop players from being able to farm. Oh, crap, give me water. Don't really want to use poison to douse myself. Water. And 4 health. Perfect. Can I fit through this way? No, you tell me? Well, this is what I have to say for that. Well, you'll turn into one of those 3 kinds of sheep. Okay. That's, yeah, not quite what I was guessing in my initial assumptions about the differences between chaotic polymorphine and non-chaotic. I'm dead. That little, see those 2 pixels of flame liquid? No. Oh, that's a shame, too bad. But hey, all part of the fun, of course. Can't make it too easy for us. But yeah, I assume that the chaotic polymorphine can turn you into anything, because it definitely seemed to give a wild range of possibilities, shall we say. Very inventive usage of poly, a very risky play, however. When you're polymorphed, your stats become that of what you polymorphed into. So if you're the sheep, you have 5 health, and almost anything can kill you when you're a sheep. Well, sometimes, I guess, yeah, ignorance is bliss. I could just blindly walk my way through feeling super happy. I was curious about that, because we did, a couple runs ago, get polymorphed, chaotically polymorphed, right as we hit 1 health, and it saved my life. Because I think, yeah, I got the health of whatever I turned into, some giant mushroom. And then something blew up in our face, and I was shocked to have survived, but dang it. You gotta watch out for those puddles on the floor. Who knows when they might become lethal, fatal risks in the future. Bit of a redundant phrase, I guess, but that's fine.